Hey everybody, Mike here. I'm going to take you today on a drive that I love. It's very close to Brisbane. You can do it in a few hours if you've got a little bit of free time on the weekend. It starts out just a little bit out of Dayboro. You follow Laceys Creek Rd across the top of Mount Mee on Range Road, and it's fantastic. Let me show you. Let's go check it out.
From Dayboro we turn into Mackenzie Street as we pass the Crown Hotel, whose story begins all the way back in 1892 when James Berry transformed his brick home and store into the original Crown Hotel. A few decades later, in 1913, a new two-storey timber version was built by Francis Hepburn, and that's the one still standing today. Over the years, the hotel has been owned by different local families, but it has always stayed as the heart of the town, with its two towering, century-old fig trees out the front. The Crown has seen its fair share of history and secrets. These days, it's the perfect spot to pause for a cold beer or lunch and soak in the charm of Dayboro's Main Street. As we drive along Laceys Creek Road, it's a peaceful, easy, paved drive through rolling hills and past local farms. The scenery out here is all about open spaces and a slower pace, making it a great start to our off-road adventure. The locals' humour shows along the way. Someone's drawn a line around a pothole and written Par 9 above it. Though, to be honest, it looks more like a Par 1 to me. As we get towards the end of Laceys Creek Road, you'll spot a sign saying no through road. Now that might stop your average sedan, but for most off-roaders it's basically an invitation. Keep going and you'll see the pavement give way to dirt. This is where things start to get a bit more interesting. The track here could be a mix of creek crossings, a few washed out ruts, and the occasional surprise pothole that could probably swallow a small hatchback. The condition really depends on how generous Mother Nature's been with the rain lately, so take it slow and keep an eye out. From my experience, it's usually tame enough though for most standard all-wheel and four-wheel drives with normal clearance, but it's definitely a drive to the conditions kind of deal. Oh, and a quick heads up, this is a national park, so no bringing the doggo unfortunately. Probably for the best. There's enough wildlife out here to keep you busy without your furry co-pilot trying to make friends with everything that moves. One of my favourite things about this part of the drive is how quickly the scenery changes. 1 minute you're rolling through open bushland, and the next you're surrounded by dense forestry that makes you feel like you've driven into a completely different region. It's a pretty epic transition and a big part of why I love this track. So take your time, enjoy the changing views, and let's see what the next stretch has in store. We've arrived at Kluvers Lookout, a spot that offers breathtaking views stretching towards the east. This vantage point is actually the highest point along the Diagula Range, making it one of my favourite stops along this drive. From here you can see as far as the ocean on a clear day, a testament to the natural beauty of this region. It's a perfect place to pause, take in the scenery, and appreciate the diverse ecosystems that make up this part of Queensland. As we drive along, keep an eye out for these impressive native grass trees. They're a bit of an Aussie icon, with their thick, blackened trunks and lush green tops, crowned by a long, spear-shaped flower. The black at the base isn't actually a sign of disease, it's a natural defense against bushfires. These trees have adapted to not just survive fire, but thrive because of it. The flower spikes can grow up to 4 meters tall and are an important source of nectar for local insects and birds. In fact, Indigenous Australians have long used the resin from these trees as a powerful adhesive and even crafted spares from their flower stalks. They're slow growing but can live for hundreds of years, making them a living piece of history on the landscape. So take a moment and appreciate these hardy survivors. They're a big part of what makes this region feel so wild and untouched. Along this section of the road, you'll notice horse trails that crisscross the track a few times. I haven't been lucky enough to spot any riders out here yet though, but I have to admit, it'd be pretty awesome to come across one. Judging by how steep some of these trails look, I'd say it's best suited for experienced riders and some sure-footed horses. The idea of exploring these tracks on horseback sounds pretty incredible though. Definitely something to keep in mind if you've got access to a horse and a bit of confidence in the saddle. For now, we'll stick to four wheels, but you never know, one day we might share this track with a few riders. This creek crossing usually has a little more water flowing across it than it does today, but it's still a great spot to stop and stretch your legs. There's something pretty relaxing about the sound of water trickling over rocks, and it's a nice chance to explore the area a bit. As we transition from off-road track back onto the paved road, we arrive at the Gantry, a popular picnic area with a rich history. This site was once home to a bustling sawmill that operated from the 1930s until 1981. The remaining structure, built in the 1950s, houses an overhead gantry crane used to manoeuvre large timber logs during milling operations. Timber from this sawmill contributed significantly to regional projects, including the construction of the Hornibrook Highway, which was Australia's longest bridge at the time, connecting Sandgate to Clontarf. Today, the Gantry stands as a testament to the area's timber industry heritage and offers visitors a serene spot to relax and reflect on its historical significance. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, it would really help the channel grow. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video in this series.